Titanus Gojira, widely known as Godzilla, first appeared in 1954. The Titan is considered to be a hero, though he will do anything necessary to protect the Earth from threats. Godzilla is shown to be the most dominant out of the rest of the Titans. We call him the king of the monsters.
Well, here we are. And I said I wasn't going to eat in front of you guys. But anyways, guys, so this is technically like day 2 of being back on the grind. I woke up about an hour ago, used the restroom, brushed my teeth, got dressed, all that jazz. I mixed my protein shake. I talked about it yesterday. I did get a new flavor. It's the chocolate peanut butter. That's the one that I'm trying today. I might take a sip on it when I get to my truck, or I might just wait. I'm not sure. But anyways, for breakfast, I don't know the exact measurements on each individual food item in my container, but I know that this is egg white scrambled with egg, like a regular egg, some broccoli for fiber, and then some chicken that Saria must have pulled. But yeah, so I guess I'll just give a quick introduction for today. So today is our 34-week, I forgot what it's called, sonogram? I believe, I was gonna say audiogram, but that's not correct. A sonogram. And we get to see of my son before he's born. So at this point, I think either next week or the week after, we start going back to the doctors every week. So whereas before we were going like every 6 to 8 weeks, and then every 4 weeks, every 2 weeks, and then now it's gonna be every week until week 40. So I need to go ahead and eat this because I am a little bit behind schedule. I wanted to leave here by 8:30. It's 9 o'clock, so I'm a little antsy, a little edgy. But I know that, Carlos hasn't tested me, so I'm under the impression that, he's not awake, he's not ready to go. So at that point, it's not my job to go wake him up. So I'm gonna go straight to the gym from here, gonna save some time, and then get after it, So I'm gonna go ahead and chow this down, and then I'll see you guys at the gym. Alright guys, so obviously we're back at the gym. Go to the volume real quick. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a lot better when I come in my own time. I don't know, I've just kind of always been like this, for better or for worse, in terms of like mentally, like I started off powerlifting by myself. Carlos didn't really. Meike texted me. I'll probably edit that out. So, I've just kind of always been like this way. It's just a certain part of me in certain phases. I just kind of I isolate myself, Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not the best thing. But that's just the way that my brain works, But anyways, it honestly kind of feels good just being in the gym by myself, just kind of record a video, just how we've been doing for so long. I think that break did me really, really good, but I'm still not really going to talk that much in between sets. Honestly, I'm probably just going to talk right now, and then I'll probably talk during my accessories. But during bench, I doubt it. I'll probably just be pressing record, resting, set, press record, do my set, rest, press record, do my set, rest, and then move on, right? But I guess let's go ahead and talk what we have for today's workout and what I'm going to do. So I have a single at 8 and a 3x7 at 7. I'm a little inclined to skip that single and just go straight into the 3x7. And then I have Larson close grip bench, but what I'm actually gonna do is close grip touch and go. And then I have wide grip pull downs, so wide lat pull downs, hammer curls and lateral raises. So I think what I'll do is, I don't know, because the 3x7 is a lot of volume. Like it's almost redundant trying to do like any close grip touch and go with that much volume, because it's like you're gonna do 3x7 and then do like another 3x7 with close grip touch and go, or Larson press, whatever, right? I'll figure it out. I really want to start throwing close grip touch and go back into the mix, because that's just one of my favorite accessories, and it's honestly, in my opinion, the best variation to improve your competition bench. So I really genuinely want to throw that back into the... Wait, did I already put pre in here? No, I don't think so. So I ran out of the strawberry mango. It literally came in yesterday, but I might as well finish the blue raz that I do have before I open up that one. I hate being wasteful, so we're gonna be rocking with the blue raz today, and then we're gonna get this show going on the road, guys. I think I'm out of hydration as well, or I might have a little bit left. Okay, I'm gonna have to throw that away. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and mix my hydration and pre-workout, and then we'll get going with this bench, man. It's enough yapping for today already, baby. Time for the informative content, brother. So I finished out with 375 for 7, 421 for 7, and 443 for 7. Probably the best my bench has felt in a very, 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 very long time. So I'm a happy camper. Like my elbow, my bicep wasn't bugging me, my shoulders wasn't bugging me, my chest wasn't bugging me. Like they're just good bench session to start the volume, baby. So then now, as we go towards the rest of our workout, who's calling me? Okay, so what we have now is I need to supplement my Larson close grip with something. So what I'm thinking is maybe either some kind of dumbbell. I'm thinking either dumbbell bench or the seated chest press machine, which has honestly been like my go-to. It's plate loaded, but it has a nice long range of motion, while also it's comfortable. You know, I fit. I don't have a hard time getting in or getting out. And then I have a wide lat pull down, which is probably going to be my last exercise. And then a hammer curl and lateral raise, right? Which obviously you guys know that right in front of me, it's the, I think it's Titan. Or no, it's the Arsenal. It's Arsenal standing lateral raise. Absolute beast of a machine. So, and then on top of that, I will probably finish out with some sort of forearm workout. I'm thinking I'm gonna superset forearm blaster with plate holds. Yeah, it'll be a good old fashioned upper body day. But the difference
what I'm doing today is I'm going to try to give some form of information out of my head as to why I think each of these accessories are beneficial and why I like them, you know, because it's like I don't always just do what Joey tells me. I'll like go through my brain and think of, okay, like this is a much more favorable like accessory for me. It'll be similar, it'll attack the same muscle groups, so we're still achieving the objective of like hypertrophy and like, because accessories aren't just for building muscle, you know. I also believe that when done correctly with submaximal weight, they do hold some rehabilitatory qualities, right? Like it just helps promote positive blood flow, positive healing, right, where the muscles need to heal. So that's the other side of the tail from tearing the muscles, right? You also want to be able to heal and recruit blood flow to those areas. So let's just load the plate loader machine for the sake of time, or because I can load more weight on this than I can with dumbbell bench, but dumbbell bench is also lighter and it works like you can simultaneously work each unilateral. We'll do dumbbell bench, you know. To make things even more complicated, we'll do incline dumbbell bench. But I think we can do 80s for the first set. If you've known me for a long time, you know I don't really go super heavy with my accessory movements. Alright, so I think we're going to stay with the 80s. I can already feel the wear and tear from bench. So, essentially the whole point of doing like dumbbell benching, either flat or incline, you know, one is the range of motion is a lot deeper and longer than you could with a regular barbell bench. And I just feel like that extra stretch helps develop like protective tissue, you know. I'm a firm believer that the best way to build a healthy squat is to maximize as deep as you possibly can. Because if you think about it, right, you have a muscle. Your muscle can stretch so long, but it develops an adaptation when you only use a certain length of it over a period of time. So a hip shift or some kind of loss of tightness is going to cause this muscle to stretch further than it normally has. And in those positions is where you are the most vulnerable. So if you strengthen your muscle, the full range that it can stretch is going to be a lot better off long-term wise, because when you have a hip shift or some kind of loss of tightness and you just like you're already strong in that position where your muscles are like lengthened, you know, they're stretched. So I just think that's the best way to, you know, protect yourself. Is the best way to prevent injuries. And I think in a similar fashion this kind of transfers over to bench, right, where I'm like my pec is like stretching all the way and I'm controlling it. I'm working each individual side simultaneously. It's going to help improve my control, my balance, my sense of feel, right? That's another big one. When you're trying to technically improve, you want to be able to have a very strong mind-muscle connection with those muscles in use, because it's going to be able to help you develop a consistent basis of technique. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more sets, and then I think after this we'll move over to the standing lateral raise as well as the hammer curls. What we have next is going to be the standing lateral raise. So this is going to be a pretty short segment, just because it is one of the most direct, easily understood exercises. But just in case it's not, I'll demonstrate and then just kind of when you're doing this, you really kind of want to have a slight lean so you can kind of like isolate, because when you're doing straight, you know, I guess you could do straight too. You could do straight, you could do it with a slight lean, kind of recruit some of that rear delt as well. And then if you get an even bigger lean, then you just kind of recruit more rear delt in comparison to the lateral delt that you're trying to work, right? So whenever you're doing any kind of shoulder raise, front delt, lateral raise, lateral delt, rear flies, rear delt, right? Pretty easy. And what I like about this is it's just so easy to work into. Like, it's pin loaded. You don't have to grab a dumbbell. You don't have to plate load. You just adjust the level of difficulty and you go to work. So, you know, I believe that the most important shoulder muscles to hit are going to be your lateral and rear delt, because they are the hardest muscles that are probably underrated in terms of your bench, right? Because your rear and lateral, think about it this way, right? When you have a sphere and you want that sphere to be strong and be able to be supportive, and your front part is overly developed because of bench press is going to directly work that front delt. You don't want to really have an imbalance, because it's just going to give you bad shoulders. Like, if you want to have healthy shoulders long term, work your rear delts, work your lateral delts, and I promise you, you're going to have bolder shoulders, and you're going to have a hell of a lot better doing any kind of exercise that revolves around that shoulder joint. All right, let's do a set. When doing this exercise, you want to make sure that you're exhibiting a tremendous amount of control. This isn't a movement that you want to like jerk around with and be very like fast twitchy. You really want to make sure that you're pumping it full of blood and getting as much ROM as possible in a controlled environment, in a controlled range of motion. But I forgot to mention this. Everything has two sides, right? Front and back, posterior, anterior, blah blah blah. You can list 1,000 different examples of two sides of the same coin. And another benefit to working the posterior part of your anterior is because when you're bench pressing and you're laying on your back, that back part that you're resting on, it's your support. It is the foundation on which you're essentially pressing, right? So to tie it in with my first point about like your sphere, and you don't want to imbalance this, you want to try to have it as balanced as possible, because like your foundation is honestly going to determine your ability to stabilize and produce force through the chest, right? At least that's my opinion. You know, some nerd who benches less than me can cut it down and, you know, give it their own take on it, but that's just my take. All right, so next on the list is going to be hammer curls. So the thing about curls is I can't think of any functional benefits to training your bicep other than having a symmetrical figure. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, very popular saying there's curls for the girls, but obviously I already got my girl. And I can't just do one singular curl per arm, because then that'd still be plural. Just kidding. That's a bad joke. But anyways, I don't know. Hammer curls in general, they're just nice to kind of hit occasionally. You know, it's okay to be a bit of a gym bro from time to time. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock these out, and then we'll move to our last programmed accessory before we do our extracurriculars, which is going to be our grip and forearm accessories. Very last programmed accessory, because so far we've done incline dumbbell bench, standing lateral raises, dumbbell hammer curls. Now we have wide out pull downs, but honestly, I might just do this mag grip instead because I'm still working that part of my back, you know. And I think back accessories are the simplest ones to quantify and explain simply through one easy entry-level statement. Big back, big lifts. And I can't express like how the explanation is in the pudding. You know, the writing's in the pudding. The explanation is in the statement. Big back, big lifts, right? Your back is responsible for so much. Stabilization, structural support, your nervous system, right? But in terms of like musculature, you know, it's just like your back is gonna help you essentially like stabilize weight on your back. It's going to help you brace so you can lift weight from the ground. And then if you want to get more specific to like your upper back, you know, like how we talked about for lateral raises, you know, and rear delt by extension, is your upper back is the foundation on which you're laying on when you're pressing. So your upper back has to be developed to have a good bench press. You know, that's why you see so many big bench pressers talk about like, and deadlifters, big benchers and big deadlifters always talk about doing their back accessories. So, you know what we're gonna do, baby? Okay, it's too light. But essentially, I'm gonna just do one set, cut the recording, and then we'll move on to the rest. All right, that's one set down, 2 more to go, and then we'll go over to. Actually, gonna have to cut the forearm stuff a little short today, just because I'm at my time limit where I gotta go. Okay. There you go, bro. All right, brother. See you Thursday. Okay. All right, guys. Just saying bye to the prof real quick, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pack so I can get out of here. You know, today was a very good workout. Bench was amazing, as good as I could have asked for today. Because lately my stuff's just been so toasted from doing squats. Like my elbows, biceps, shoulders are just absolutely cooked from Monday. So for me to be able to have a good bench session despite that, I was even contemplating wearing my elbow sleeves today, but I couldn't find them. So, but either way, you know, thank you Jesus for not needing them. And then yeah, I mean, I don't think I really need to say much else for this conclusion. I mean, I've pretty much like talked this entire video, you know, so it's like, to give a recap is kind of, I don't know, redundant in my opinion. But I mean, bench was good, accessories were super good, and then I'm just feeling good, man. I mean, I've been a little constipated. I've drank about 3/4 of a gallon already in like the first 4 hours I've been awake. So I just gotta, you know, keep eating fiber, drinking water, and sooner or later I'm gonna get flushed out. So that's the goal. But you know, I hope you guys can learn. So I hope I've said something informational and beneficial today that you guys can take home and, you know, just kind of have a different spin on stuff that we do literally in a monotonous fashion year round. Like we do the same thing, same stuff every single day, every single week, every single month, year, and so on. So it's like sometimes it just, hearing it a different way kind of just reinvigorates the way you feel about it, you know, your passion, the fire, the discipline. So that's enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead and finish packing, and I will see you guys. I might post a Q&A today to talk about tomorrow, just so we can have something in between Wednesdays. Tomorrow I am gonna go get an oil change, wash my truck, and just do rest day type activities. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I will try to get this up same day, so I'm gonna have it rendered when I get home, and then when we get back from the appointment, then I'll make sure to start chopping it up and try to have it uploaded this evening. So Hope you guys enjoy it.